when you speak to a lot of diehard Republicans at the moment, they keep pressing McCain to ask more about Reverend Wright, for example, and they're also very pleased whenever he says anything about Bill Ayers. What they're getting at, I think, is the question of Obama's judgment in associating with these people. And I was just wondering if anything of what the Republicans say concerning those two men makes you even a bit worried, or do you dismiss the whole?
No, absolutely not. No, of course not. As a matter of fact, I mean, one thing I do want to say is that certainly in London, the few Republicans that I have met and spoken to have been absolutely lovely. And I mean, what it seems is that there's a different kind of American that tends to live abroad, and they would be more likely to get it about Obama. It's not necessarily that they're Democrat or Republican. They would just get it about what he's about, and like him for all the right reasons. And more likely, when I am meeting anybody that's Republican, it's more likely that they're military people, and of course they're not going to be disloyal to the military Republican roots, which is fair enough. But I mean, as far as all the other stuff about all the silly arguments for why Obama isn't anything other than what he is, which is a good leader and a good unifier of people, and I mean, as far as sort of poor judgment in the past, I think that ship has kind of sailed back when he gave the speech about that he would no sooner denounce a friend for making mistakes as he would his grandmother, who he's just gone to visit, and fair dues to him. At the point when Reverend Wright wasn't behaving and was still going off and spouting all this stuff, and was still moving so far from what Obama's beliefs were, at that point, that's when he, I guess, just felt he had enough. But I certainly wouldn't blame anybody else I knew from having once been friends with somebody that then turns out not to be worthy of a friendship. I can't give him such powers of omniscience that he could possibly know 10 or 20 years ago how somebody would then behave all their life. And I think that's a lot of what the Republicans are trying to do, basically, because they're just grasping at straws.
But why do you think many sort of Republican armchair strategists feel that this would be a fruitful line of attack?
I think at this point it's, again, I don't want to say anything because I'm a little superstitious. I'm wary to just say this, but it seems like kind of that bunker mentality of, we're going down and we've just got to come up with anything we can. And especially, there are a great deal of people in America, much more so than what I'm seeing in any kind of expats, but there are whole pockets of people in America that, I mean, part of it is racism, but part of it is just fear of the other. And that is something that has been brilliantly exploited, especially by Sarah Palin, who, is all cute and perky and attractive to men and all those things. But she's bringing something out, especially in white males that have any element of racism, consciously or latently. And it's really coming out, and so they're using language like, what about this? What about Reverend Wright and all those things? But that's just the subtext behind, let's lynch him. And it doesn't seem that the argument is anything really positive about what they're for, but more that it's negative of what they're against. And that seems to be the thing that is rallying that kind of person. And I'm not saying it's all Republicans, but that is certainly the group that they are counting on. And it's a numbers game. They're just counting on getting as many people as they can that will just look for any excuse to not vote for Obama.
Real Pundits.